Pessoal, não vamos esquecer de acionar o sino.
Folks, let's not forget to hit the bell. Hello, warriors of the Arte de Guerra channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about a request for the arrest of an Israeli general who is in Italy. But before starting the video, I wanted to tell you that I am Commander Robson Farinaso, a Navy Reserve officer. And this is the Arte de Guerra channel, a platform for the analysis of military, strategic, and geopolitical issues conducted by professionals. So if you're new here, subscribe to our channel, comment, and give us a like. That said, let's get to today's video. Let's first find out who the general is. Let's see what is being requested and who this Israeli general is.
Esse general israelense. Então aqui tá uma matéria do The Times.
So here is an article from the Times of Israel. I included a newspaper. It's a newspaper well aligned with the Israeli right, but several Israeli and international media outlets are talking about this issue. And what happens? There is an NGO that monitors these people. It's the Hind Rajab Foundation, and it has called for the arrest of Ghassan Alian, who is the head of Kogat, which is the Israeli government's coordination for activities in the territories. We will get to know who General Ghassan Alian is, and we will look at some other cases happening around the world. Follow along with us. Look, folks, here you have an article from Al Jazeera, from this same foundation, calling for the arrest of Israelis in Argentina and Chile. But it's not just this case. Let's look at other cases here. Look, this is a report from CNN saying that Israeli soldiers face the growing risk of arrest warrants after serving in Gaza. And these cases are spreading worldwide. Here we have this case in Brazil and in Chile. The case in Brazil was quite emblematic. They had to urgently remove the Israeli soldiers from here. Anyway, it's becoming a quite complicated situation. But let's take a look at General Ghassan's biography, because there's something interesting. He is Druze. That's quite interesting. Let's see who the general is. So here is General Ghassan Alian. He is 52 years old. He was born in 1972. He is a brigadier general. He served on various Israeli army commissions. He was wounded in Gaza in 2014. And in the wake of the Hamas invasion on October 7th, he was criticized for saying, "You see here, we are fighting human animals and we act accordingly." So that's the profile of the general. Well, that said, let's make our comment. Look, folks, I've said in several interviews I've given here and made videos on the Arte de Guerra channel saying that this was going to happen. I predicted that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu would have his arrest warrant, and that happened. And now things are dragging on for the Israeli army. I see it this way. This is not going to stop here. This will extend. It's not just this foundation. Other foundations will end up getting involved as well. Israel will find itself in the same situation as the former SS military members of the German army who participated in World War II atrocities. This will last about 70 years, 80 in Germany's case. Some people say this issue will continue for decades. And so, the great demerit of Netanyahu, in our opinion, was having destroyed the aura of sanctity of Israel. Israel built, through the press and propaganda, over 80 years, an aura of respectability, etc. And Netanyahu ended that in a matter of weeks in Gaza. It won't come back. Why? Because nowadays, you no longer have a monopoly on facts. The press needs to share space with various other players. Israel is in a very difficult situation regarding independent media. There are many media outlets opposing Israel. In the past, this was much rarer, so the situation is going to be quite difficult. This is the truth. Additionally, there's another problem in this matter. The crimes that happened during World War II were rarely documented. Many witnesses died, there were hardly any photographic records, documents, people were burning them. But nowadays, the very people committing the crime end up producing evidence against themselves on social media. People go there, film, photograph, post on Twitter, TikTok, Huawei, wherever, and the people on the other side archive it. You have thousands, millions of views, and the people on the other side archive it, right? So it ends up causing a problem. This problem is going to grow. The tendency of this problem is not to die out, right? It started there. There was a case in Morocco, then a case in Brazil, now Chile, Argentina, this case in Italy. This is spreading to countries in the Far East, I believe. As far as I know, up to now, no one has been arrested yet. When the problem erupts, people flee, find a way, or appeal. But sooner or later, there will be an arrest. This is inevitable. The tendency of this crisis is to escalate. So I warned several times here that the lives of Israeli military personnel would become difficult from now on. And we have to remember that this is likely to be repeated in the future of the arms market in Israel. Why? What happens is the following. A good part of the exhibitors from Israel's defense industry are former military personnel from the country. The guy comes, for example, to sell weapons, for instance, in Argentina. So the leader, was a pilot of, an F-15, then goes to sell equipment to the Argentine Air Force. But if this guy operated in Gaza, if he was a pilot, the chance is very high his very presence in the country will end up causing a stir. These people will have a complicated life from now on. We predicted it. I remember we were heavily questioned about this. It's an inevitability. It's just understanding modern times. This applies to Ukraine as well. There was a case where several Brazilians died in Ukraine in recent days. We'll see if we address this in another video, but it's a warning. Many Brazilians who were in Ukraine will end up facing criminal charges in the coming months and years around the world. This is an international trend, and I'll go further. This will eventually reach, sooner or later, the American military who fought in Iraq and Afghanistan and committed war crimes. So that was our video for today. Comment on what you think about the arrest warrant for this Israeli general. Do you think he will be arrested? Do you think he won't? This interesting fact about a Druze general in the Israeli army, quite an unusual thing. Leave your comment, it's very important. Tell us where you're speaking from, how you discovered the Arte da Guerra channel. Your impressions are very important.
É muito importante as suas impressões, tá? E eu lembro sempre que tem aí a nossa escola de curso.
And I always remember that we have our course school from the Arte da Guerra channel. It's here in the description, okay? Where you can take courses on drones, rockets, missiles, operations in Russia, in the Middle East. And we also have our Amazon bookstore, okay? You can purchase books and other items there and help our channel. So if you want to contribute to the growth of our media, you can subscribe to the channel, also give your super sticker or super chat, or become a member of the channel club. Or if you want to contribute through Pix, which is here in the description. Pix has the advantage of bypassing YouTube's restrictions. And now we also have the Arte da Guerra International channel in English. The link is here in the description. So, that was our video for today. We'll be back shortly then, always with responsibility and commitment and faith in Brazil, folks. See you later. Well, folks, our reading tip for today is Rise and Kill First, which is one of the books that sells the most here on the Arte da Guerra channel. It tells the story of the Mossad's assassination teams. But that's not all. We've also selected other books about the Mossad, espionage books from major secret agencies, like The Spy Who Came In From the Cold and The Little Drummer Girl, which is highly recommended and was released in Portugal under the name 6 O'Clock. And I remind you that every time you buy books and other items through the channel's wish list, which can be found both in the link in the description and through this QR code, you are helping the Arte da Guerra channel. Adriana Zanato,